All right, here we go. How's everybody going? All right, let me try that again. How's everybody doing today? I'm hanging out with Michael tonight. We're going to talk a whole bunch about TKS, getting ready for the Murray event. I'm currently sitting in a hotel room in Indianapolis, Indiana, and it is colder than cold outside. It's in the single digits, and it's stupid cold.
Got to button up.
Flute Mobile's not happy with me right now, so goodness gracious. So what we're gonna do tonight is we're gonna basically run over everything, making sure everything's squared away, answering as many questions as we can. Um, show you guys some of the cool things that's coming up. Show you, we've got a lot going on. We've got trophies already designed and built and in the mail and on the way. We've got banners and checks and all kinds of stuff. Man, there's a lot of little boxes to have to check to be able to get everything going for this thing. So anyway, Michael, go ahead and get us cranking.
You're breaking up on me a little bit there, Gene. I don't know if it's me or you. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you. It's probably me. Like I said, I got to be careful with this Wi-Fi, this hotel Wi-Fi. So
now I can hear you good. You tossed it over to me, but I didn't hear what you said.
Get it started.
Get it started. Okay. Yep. So first thing, I thought we'd talk about a little bit is kind of catching you up on the last minute details for Murray. I know a few of you guys have commented on our Facebook page and or group asking for the payout schedule. I wanted to have that out yesterday. I had a few things pile up on me all at once. Today I had to run over to my mom's house and help support a patio shelter that was about to fall in because of a storm we recently had. So I got hung up on that today too and still didn't get to it. I promise you before this time tomorrow, we'll have the pay up schedule posted on our website and on our Facebook page and on our Facebook group. If you did not see it yet, you should have gotten an invite today. Almost everybody that's a member of the group or one of my friends or one of Gene's friends for our new Facebook page. We wanted to have that for our business presence as well. We'll treat both of those. Say that again.
That and StreamYard won't let us have these things on group pages. We have to have them on business pages. So
that's it.
Because we just created it, they won't let us do it for like 60 days or something, which is absolutely stupid. But anyway.
So we're sharing it over on Gene's YouTube and his Facebook page and my Musgrove Outdoors Facebook page. So anyway, hopefully you're getting it at one of those outlets. And if you're rewatching this recording, good. You may not be able to watch it live, so it'll be out there for you to see and link to. And we'll treat the page and the group pretty much the same. You'll see the same posts go over on both sides, but we would appreciate you to like and follow both of those sources for updates and information as they come. As I posted on our Facebook group earlier this week, we did get our website up, but again, because of me getting bogged down in some of the stuff this week that I got bogged down in, it's not a lot of information isn't there yet. So bear with me as I fill the website up, teamkayakseries.com.
There'll be enough information for the tournament so you guys aren't totally confused. So
yeah.
A couple of questions that have popped up is like starting times and all that other stuff with the tournament. For launch times and things like that, I like to wait until about a week prior, just so I can fine tune when the launch times are, so you guys get the maximum amount of good fishing time in and stuff like that. So we're going to wait on that. So captain's meeting location is going to be where, Michael?
Well, I won't say yet because we're finalizing it tomorrow morning with them. It looks like it's going to be a little small brewery, barn grill type place over near Irmo. I could tell you the name of it. I don't have it pulled up, but I'm actually touching base with them tomorrow to finalize that. I hope worst case scenario we'll wind up at the Irmo Moore Park at a pavilion, but I hope we can secure this other location tomorrow morning. So we'll update you on that tomorrow. A lot of things we're going to tell you tonight are going to be stay tuned just because I got bogged down with this bunch of stuff.
But let's step back one deal. If you guys have never heard about TKS, it's called the Team Kayak Series. It's what me and Michael have come up with as a national kind of a team trail where you guys can partner up with a partner and go fish these tournaments for some good money and big prizes and a lot of fun. We We're going to talk about our schedule tonight. We're going to talk about some really cool things. We thought we were going to have to cancel the Susquehanna River, and we don't now. We're going to talk about that. We're going to do a bunch of things. But just know that this is a brand new series that's just starting up the 1st of March, and our first tournament is on Lake Murray. So that's kind of what we're talking about today. So, all right, got that out of the way.
The biggest thing about Lake Murray you need to know, if you are fishing that event, and if you're not, you need to reconsider. Lake Murray this time of year is going to be on fire. You need to register and fish this event. Anyway, registration for our series ends a week before the first day of the tournament or the captain's meeting. So it'll end Friday midnight. You need to get your registration in the next few days, or you're going to miss out registering for this event. If you don't have a team member yet and you know you want to go fish Lake Murray, still register and sign up. You will be able to fish one way or another, as we talked about in several other podcasts. And as it says right there in our rules, if you do not have a teammate by the time registration deadline comes, you will still be able to fish the event, because you will either be paired randomly by one of us with another individual who is registered that didn't have a teammate. And if there isn't one to pair you with, you will have an opportunity to fish solo if you want to. So one way or another, you will be able to fish. So don't not sign up just because you don't have a teammate.
Yep, we'll get you squared away.
Yeah,
for sure. March 1st, many years ago, I caught one of the biggest one-day limits I've ever caught on Lake Murray on March the 1st. And I'll even tell you what I was throwing. I was throwing a red lipless crankbait.
it's the red bait season for Murray. Yep. Red cranking.
And a red square bill.
So as we've done on a few other places that we've been invited to talk about our series, a lot of you have tuned in for some of those. We've gone over some of the key differences in our rule set between us and other series that are just single person events. We'll mention a couple of those here. Participants and eligibility. I'll touch on that for just a second. You can go to these rules, by the way. They're linked on our website and they're linked on our Facebook group at this time. I haven't pulled them over to the Facebook page yet, but if you go to the Facebook group, you can go to the files tab and you can find our full rule set there. You can also find another thing under the files tab called the team setup instructions for Tourney X. Gene, are you still there?
I'm still there. Just froze up for a second.
Mine did too. Okay. I just want to make sure we didn't lose anybody. But anyway, I can tell you that in a nutshell, by the way, how to sign up as a team. So when you register for Murray, you should have already paid for your membership. You do that by going to our Facebook page or our Facebook group or our website. All three of those have links for you to sign up as a member of TKS. The registration or the membership fee is $25 for the first year. It'll go up to twice that next year. So get in here this year at $25. And once you've signed up as a member, go over to Tourney X, register for the event for Lake Murray. All right. Once you've registered for the event with Lake Murray, you can do that on the app as usual. Go to a web browser version of Tourney X and sign in there after you've registered for the event, because you can't set up your team through the app as it stands right now. You have to go to the web browser version of Tourney X. And then you and your teammate decide which one of you is going to be the team captain, which means nothing to TKS. That's just something that Tourney X uses to determine who can set up the team. And that's all it's for. Whoever the team captain is going to be, once you paid for your membership, once you've paid for the registration fee, log in on the web browser, find that event that you just registered for, and there will be an option there to create a team. So you need to have already decided with your teammate what your team name is going to be, but you create the team, you name it, and then you can log off. Now your partner, your teammate, needs to have done their membership, registered for the event, and then they also need to go to a web browser, sign in, look for that event they just registered for, and then they need to look for the team they want to join. So the team that you created as team captain, they will be able to find that in the list of teams and click on join team. Now the captain who originally set that team up will get a notification to approve that ad, and there your team is set up and you're done. And I think as it stands now with the way Tourney X is built, you'll have to do that at each event.
But it's,
so
I mean, even
it's
in
easy.
in the instructions, it seems difficult. It's not. It's so simple.
It's super simple, super fast. Yeah,
Yep.
it's not hard to do.
Yeah, it's been dumbed down quite a bit, so it's not hard at all. So
limits. Let's talk about limits for just a minute. The way our limits work. So we're a 2-man series, as you know. It's a 2-day event. It's a 10 fish limit per team, not individual, over the 2-day period. Meaning, you know how a lot of people say you can lose it on day one, but you can't win it on day one, but you can lose it on day one. And a lot of people, because of that, will go home from a 2-day tournament after day one if they've really bombed. Well, the way our limit carries over the whole 2-day period as if it's one event, you stick around if you did bad on day one, because you can pick it all back up on day 2. Yep. So if you have a day 1 and both of you are just bombing, again, you can make it all up on day 2. It doesn't matter which teammate catches your limit. If Gene and I are teammates and Gene is struggling, I have to carry him, I can catch all the 10 fish. And both of you can cull for each other as a team. You're culling your 10 fish limit as if you're one person. So it's a 10 fish limit per team over the 2-day period.
Yep. Pre-fishing times, there is no off limits. So
no off limits, but we do
at 4 p.m. The day before the tournament. So you have to be off the water by 4 p.m. and on your way to the captain's meeting, which is mandatory. We are not going to have a live captain's meeting, so on whatever, on Facebook or anything else. You're going to show up to the captain's meeting. You're going to get your board checked, and then we're going to have the captain's meeting. So
Michael Miller says, "Can I compete using a jet ski?"
As soon as
if you want to be disqualified,
jet skis, kayaks, we'll talk about that.
There's one for you, Gene.
Yeah, I got that one. And Auburn hats make really good slime towels. They really do. And you can wipe your butt with them so easily. It's so good. So let's bring on Emily real quick. And
yep, we want to introduce you guys. A lot of you are going to know her. You've seen her at events. Emily, welcome. We'll give you a moment to just introduce yourself, and then we'll talk about why Emily's going to be a huge asset to Team Kayak Series and to you guys as anglers.
All right, guys, Emily Hyman from the great state of Louisiana. Been fishing all my life, been kayak fishing since 2020 with COVID, really got me into that. Been to a lot of tournaments, which is where I know most of y'all from, and just trying to give back to the community somehow. That's why I'm here.
Awesome. So here's one of the things we're really excited about having Emily on board is we're partnering with her because she has, what do we call this, Emily? It's not a hobby really, because you're quite the professional. She's an accomplished photographer. Has done it as I don't know if you've done it full time, but as a side gig, side hustle, you've done a lot of work in photography, haven't you?
Yeah, mainly weddings, but I'm trying to dive off into the outdoors. I mean, all of us know it. If there's nothing better than watching that sunrise, watching anglers catch fish, catching the big fish yourself, of trying to just make a living eventually on the water.
Yeah. If you guys want to see some of her recent on the water work, go and look at the photos Gene has from his Caddo event that he won. What was that, October last year, Gene?
Emily, I can pull a really good one up here in just a second.
Yeah, well, share some of that. But Emily, with permission from the tournament director, was able to follow him around and do some pro photography still shots of him on the water.
Yep. So go ahead.
Go ahead. Nope, you're good. Go.
And so what she's not only going to take pictures for us, like at the captain's meetings and stuff like that, but if you guys, any of you guys want to get your picture taken or have her follow you around for a certain amount of time, you can partner with her and get with her, and she'll meet you out on the water, and she'll do that for you for whatever period of time you agree on, and you can pay her to do that. So I'll let her talk a little bit more about that. But
yeah, tell them, Emily, exactly how we structured it and how they can book you and how that will work.
So the main purpose behind this was to help Gene and Michael. They're going to need some good photography. We got some awesome sponsors on board. But the other thing is, I know as an angler, if you have sponsorships or anything like that, you're going to need good photos, preferably on the water for those sponsors. And that costs a fortune. photography is very expensive to hire somebody, but then to get somebody on the water with you, I've booked them before, and it is an arm and a leg. So this is a way at these tournaments for you to be able to show off to your sponsors, to your family, to whomever, all of your talents, all of your equipment, trying to meet those obligations. So during the tournament, and again, all of this is going to be confidential. We're not going to share any locations, any secrets, anything like that. Shoot me a text with what ramp you're going to be at, what direction you're heading. Gene can tell you. I'll get lost a couple of times, and I'll eventually catch up to you. But give me your location. I'd be happy to come over there. The tournament's only so many hours long, so I can't go to 10 ramps in a day. But pre-fishing, I'll hopefully get to each of these locations a couple of days in advance. We can get together while you're pre-fishing, give you an hour or so slot, and we'll get my contact information out there somehow, so you'll be able to book that.
Yep, and we'll come up. Are you still working on rates, or do you know what those are going to be like for a 1 hour slot or a half-hour slot, or how are you going to do that? We're going to come up with that
Still
later.
Working on it.
Okay.
I'm in the middle of making a website for that where you'll just download digital files. You can order real prints if you want, but most everybody just needs digital files. And so there'll be some package deals out there. The more you buy, the cheaper it gets, and we'll get that posted here shortly.
We're excited about this. It's going to be good to have her on board with TKS, providing all of our media and still shots for our series, but for you guys to be able to book Emily for our time slots. And I think we talked, you're going to be willing to do that not only during competition, but also during practice periods in some cases, right?
Yeah, preferably practice. That way, there's
That
not
way
as
you
much
can
stress
compete.
well, there's not as much stress about, me giving up good information or me getting
Sure.
in your way. When you're fishing a tournament, you're really focused, and to have a photographer, as an angler, I understand the stress that can come with that, and I will do my best to give you your space with that, but still get you good photography.
Awesome.
It won't let me share it for some reason. Chrome is
You'll
mad
have
at
to post some on your Facebook page or something that they
Well,
go
it-
to and look
yeah,
at in the
go to my-
comments.
It's the picture at the top of my Facebook page.
Yeah.
Is what it is.
So, just for your information, everybody. So Emily's not going to make it. I think there was a scheduling conflict to our first event to Lake Murray, right? But you're going to be
Yeah.
at each of the rest of the events the rest of the year, including our championship in October.
Correct.
So, and then that'll be the first year, and then we'll see how that goes, and we'll hopefully offer something very similar, if not the same thing, for 2026. So we're excited about that. Any special things other than what we covered, Emily, about that you want to cover or talk about? Anywhere they can go to see some of your work.
Getting that worked on too. Did a lot of that today.
Be part of the
Some
website. Yeah, I'm
downtime.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get that posted. I'll share it to the page, both pages, and personal. Give you a link to that. And yeah, Gene's
Awesome.
Facebook is going to be the best place to see some of it right now.
Yeah,
But
my
we'll put some
Facebook
more
page.
out there.
Yep. It's going to be
Awesome.
the best.
I'm going to scroll through. Gene, if you got anything you want to say, go ahead. I'm going to scroll through some of these comments, see if anybody had any questions for Emily.
Go ahead. I'm gonna pull up a picture if I can. For sure.
Somebody gave you a shout out.
Nice.
Liz.
Yeah, I'm just not going to be able to get one pull up. Dadgummit. Anyway, so yeah, I can attest. And the good thing about her being an angler, she's going to follow you guys around, is she knows how to stay out of the way. She can pretty much see where you're going and not. I've had photo shoots and video shoots where the cameraman was not a fisherman, and there were cuss words coming out of my mouth that you would never hear me say anywhere else, because he was coming right into where I was casting. He just wanted to get the perfect angle, but wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. And I didn't. When Emily was following me around the first day of the Bassmaster event on Bistineau this last year, I didn't have to worry about a thing. So, which is really cool. And I know Corey can attest to having that happen to him too. So Corey Dreyer's on here, but yeah, Corey said something about checking licenses. Yes, we'll check licenses as well.
Yep. Yeah, we're going to check licenses. That's we talked about that in the previous podcast. I'm not seeing any specific questions for Emily right now.
No, not for Emily, but yeah, for sure. But yeah, dude, that's going to be so awesome. And what a good opportunity for you guys, mainly because with social media the way it is and sponsors, if you want sponsors, if you're looking for sponsors, it's always good to have pictures that aren't selfies. Or like me, when you lose 85, 90 pounds, it's good to have skinny pictures. When all that's out there are fat pictures, that kind of stuff. So definitely a good thing to have. So, and she's as good as it gets, for sure. So.
Yeah, good question there, Mr. Eccles. No, you do not have to launch from the same launch. And that's one of the exciting things we're looking forward to watching is how different teams strategize when they fish a body of water. Are you you might fish from the same launch if you guys have found a big area that you can both share and you're just landing giants. But let's say you're fishing Gunnersville, probably one of the biggest lakes as far as distance from one end to the other. You can fish the southernmost tip of Gunnersville and your partner could go to the northernmost tip if you're both onto some good spots. And the good thing about our series is you can communicate not only verbally on the water like some other series will let you do even as competitors, but they outlaw the electronic communication, right? So as teammates, you can communicate electronically in any way. So if you're fishing the north end, I'm fishing the south end, and I'm onto something good and you're struggling, I'm going to call you up and say, get down here. They're here, So
Yep.
No, you absolutely don't have to fish from the same launch.
All right. So if we don't have any questions for Emily, we'll go ahead and let her go. Anybody else got any questions? Throw them up here, and then we'll let her go eat because she just got home from work. So,
Thank you, Emily.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate y'all.
Look
thanks,
forward
Carol.
to seeing you.
Appreciate it.
All right. We're excited about having her as part of the team. That's going to be a wonderful opportunity.
Yep.
I'm just looking through some of you guys' comments, see if there's any questions we haven't covered.
A live scope question. Is there going to be, or no, is there going to be a ban on force facing sonar or live scope? Nobody wants to see someone video game fish. Well, for me, it's going to be, you're only allowed to have one on your boat at a time. So one live scope transducer.
Jack, glad to hear it, buddy. We're
ready.
excited. We're really excited to watch this unfold. It's our inaugural year and our very first event at Lake Murray. We're wanting to make it something special. We might take a moment here, Gene, and talk about some of our wonderful sponsors that have come on board. I'm going to throw this to the side. You'll notice our title sponsor logo here in the center. Yak Attack has come on board as our title sponsor. We talked about that early on, but we finally finalized all those details in the last week or so. The official measuring board as such is the Yak Attack leaderboard. We also allow the catch measuring board as well. And then all of our series throughout this season will be presented by Dugout Bait and Tackle out of Marietta, Georgia. Wonderful paddle shop down there. Go check those guys out. We're happy to have them as partners. And then if you look across the top of this banner, you've got some of our other sponsors who are participating in different ways. We got Bonafide Kayaks, Deep South Lures. Guys, check out Deep South Lures at deepsouthlife.com. They make some amazing custom soft plastic baits, a lot of other things as well. They've come on board to support us this year out of Fort Myers, Florida. Dakota Lithium Batteries, Yak Rods. We're happy to have Yak Rods on board as well. Sniper Marine. Let me tell you how Sniper Marine is participating, guys. We are part of their contingency program for big bass. So if you are a Sniper Marine user, if you've got their Sniper Marine forward-facing sonar pole mount product on your kayak and you catch any fish, they will take the longest fish of all Sniper Marine product users and pay you a $50 bonus at each of our events. So again, if you've got a Sniper Marine pole and you catch any fish and you have the longest fish, you don't have to have the biggest bass of the whole event. You don't have to even place in that event. But if you have the longest fish of any other Sniper user in that event, you get a $50 bonus. Kayak Cushion is supporting us this year. We're going to have some kayak cushions to give away. Z-Man, same thing. They're giving us a lot of good bait packs to give away at our award ceremonies. And of course, Catch trophies, Catch products. They're building our trophies and they are beautiful. We'd love to showcase them to you tonight. We just got a picture from the guys over at Catch earlier today showing the finished product, and they are, shall I say, sexy. I think they look amazing. We're going to unveil those at Lake Murray, so be there to check that out. And nobody's asked the question. Maybe we volunteered it in a previous podcast, but when it comes to two-man teams, you're probably wondering, who gets to keep the trophy, my teammate or me? You both do. We're doing 6 trophies, first through third place. If you make first place, you both get a first place trophy to take home. Same for second and third. The only oddball trophy out there that's a standalone is the Big Bass Trophy. It's just a small mini bump, nothing special, but it's a little bit of hardware you can take home if you catch biggest bass and you win that pot. And then, of course, we are scored by Tourney X. So shout out to Mr. Dwayne Wally.
And then
those are our sponsors.
Checks are going to be 1st through 10th. So
say that again. I'm sorry.
Checks.
1st through 10th. Yeah. Yeah. Top 10. Thank you for adding that. I'd forgotten.
Yep.
All right, cool. Let's see what else everybody's asking over here. What's the deal with the bass in Texas? Well, Gene will be able to tell you in about 3 weeks.
Yep. Starting next, as soon as I get back from Indianapolis I'm at the Indianapolis what is it? The RV boat outdoor something or another show, doing seminars all this next. I've done it Friday, Saturday, Sunday this week, and then I've got tomorrow through Sunday to do. I'll be doing seminars in their kayak pool. But after that, I get to focus on Texas and get ready for the Bassmaster Championship, Bassmaster Kayak Series Championship.
Easy.
Been eating too many cheese curds. But yeah, dude, I'm excited about it. But what was I? Oh, schedule. That's what I wanted to go over while people are asking questions.
Yeah, we can pull that up.
Yep, I pulled it up. We got so of course Lake Murray, March 1st and 2nd. April 5th through the 6th is going to be Lake Guntersville. And if you guys don't know, dude, that's like prime time Guntersville. It's actually the same 2 days as the last day of Redcrest.
Yeah, our first day will be their last day, right?
Yeah, our first day will be their last day. So there's only going to be like 10 Redcrest guys on the water.
Yeah.
So it's not like we're going to get in their way and they're going to get in ours. And if that happens, okay, it's tournament fishing. But so it's going to be prime time. It's going to be really, really good. And plus, if you guys watch Redcrest live, you'll have a pretty good idea of what's fishing. So it'll be a fun tournament. Kentucky Lake, May 3rd through the 4th. Like same thing, Kentucky Lake in May, dude, from smallmouth to largemouth, any of them could be firing off at any time.
Yeah. Top water bite.
Yep. Top water bite. It's going to be nice. Nickajack Lake is going to be paired with the Tennessee Kayak Nation or Kayak Bass Nation tournament. So it's going to be partnered with them so the 28th will be their tournament and our first day. And then the 29th will be just our second day. Nickajack has been on fire for the last 2 years. It's been kind of quiet. No, not a lot of people have been talking about it, but the guides that know that fish up there say that it is absolutely, the fish are healthy. Everything's good. It's just going to be a really good tournament. And then August, the 16th and 17th, the Susquehanna River, which we thought we were going to have to cancel because Pennsylvania midstream changed their permitting rules and regulations. But Michael, all credit to him, got on the phone and started making phone calls and talking to people and drugging people and and did what he does business wise, and he got us a permit to fish the Susquehanna. So
got a permit, baby.
Yep, we pretty much have the boundaries finalized for that event, and mid-August is supposedly prime time for that, and it's actually the week after the Drew Gregory's what does he call his tournament?
KAYAK Adventure Series, and Vinny's doing his Native No Limit with Drew. They're doing concurrent tournaments. We're going to be up there fishing their events. You guys go support them as well. They run a great. Yeah,
2 weekends in a row will be, you'll have major kayak tournaments on the Susquehanna River.
Who says no to 2 back-to-back tournaments in a week on the Susquehanna? Go to all of it, guys.
Yep. And then our championship is October 10th and the 12th on Santee Cooper, which is absolutely, that's early. That's the fall transition. They're moved up to those cypress trees, and it's just going to be great. And You'll notice the championship is a 3-day tournament. So the first 2 days is going to be just like any other tournament, a 10 fish limit for 2 days. And then on the third day, we cut that down to 50%. And 50% of the field gets to fish the last day, and it goes to 0, but still a 10 fish limit, but a 10 fish limit on 1 day. And so, if I remember correctly,
That's right.
but, what else was I going to say about that? Oh, and to qualify for the championship, you must at least fish in 3 of our events. And then
3 out of the 5 regular season events. And then for Angler of the Year, Team of the Year in our case, TOY, you have to, it'll be your top 4 events of the year.
Points only matter for TOY this year.
Yep.
You don't have to have a certain number of points to qualify for the championship. It's our inaugural anyway, that word real, or good grief, what is up with my mouth today? It's our inaugural year, and so we definitely want to make sure that we get as much participation as we can, but still you got to qualify for it. I'm not going to try to give it to every Joe Schmo that breathes on our website. So
Yep. So good point here, Corey. Said he had a friend that asked if he can fish a boat tournament the Saturday on Murray before the event. So although we do not have an off limits period, you are correct. We do have an official practice period, and there are things you can't do during an official practice period. If you want to know what those things are, go to rule number 3 and all the subheadings under that on our rules. One of them is you can't fish with non-competitors during official practice period. And this rule you mentioned is correct too. You have to fish. You basically have to follow the same rules that you would during the tournament as far as regulations on what you fish out of the kayak. And
same rules as Bassmaster, except we don't have an off limits period, but we do have an official practice. And also registration ends prior to official practice. So ends 7 days prior to the start of the tournament.
That's right. This coming Friday, midnight. You got to better be registered before that.
Yeah, this coming Friday.
And that gives us time. The reason we set that a little far in advance is the same reason every other series wants to do it and hasn't done it yet. They still allow you to register a day or 2 before the event happens. We need the time to plan a good venue for you guys and provide a wonderful program. So that's one reason. But the other reason is it's incredibly difficult for us to try to pair solo people who registered for the event because they couldn't get a teammate in time. That 6 to 7 days that's left after the registration deadline gives us time to find you a partner.
It gives us time to find a partner, pair you guys, and then you guys get together and discuss a game plan and get all of that
and pre-fish together and all that. So is there going to be an official identifier card we have to use? Yes. We will have pre-printed identifiers when you come to board check. By the way, captain's meeting, board check, registration is mandatory for in-person. If there is a good reason you can't make it, and it's got to be a good reason, you have to run by Gene or I, we will handle those on a case-by-case basis and get you another version of a captain's meeting squared away and get you registered and signed in.
Captain's meeting the next day, you ain't gonna like it. It's gonna be
because you're not gonna be able to launch at the same time as everybody else. So you need to be in person at the captain's meeting Friday evening. Those details for Murray specifically and the rest of the events for the year are going on Tourney X ASAP. I know you guys are getting a little impatient with me getting that information posted in time, but what you won't see right away on Tourney X is the lines in and the lines out time. We want to fine tune that. You'll find out that probably a couple of days before the event, maybe at the captain's meeting.
It'll be before the captain's meeting, but not much more. I usually can pick it within a few days, to a week. But
we'll have pre-printed identifier cards at registration for you.
Yep. And for me, it depends on what safe light. It depends on, I like to pick the starting times. Say if there's an afternoon bite, I'll push the starting time out a half hour longer than or later than you think it ought to be. But mainly because I know that there's an afternoon bite that's better than the morning bite and that kind of stuff. And that and the reason we do that is just to give me the opportunity to do that. I may not do that every tournament, but to just give me the opportunity to say, okay, I want them to have the best day of fishing I can, and then knock that one out. So pedal drives versus trolling motor kayaks. What to say? I need to upgrade, but not sure which is the better route since
They're
both
paddling
styles.
right now. So they're paddling right now, and they want to know if they want to upgrade to a pedal drive or a motor. And
Whatever.
that's going to be a preference thing. You need to go to
Yep.
some demo days and try different setups. I can tell you April 19th, there's going to be a demo day up on Lake Lanier with Westbrook Supply Company, and there's other shops that do demo days too. I don't know how far away you are or where you're at, but go to your kayak paddle shop and see when they're doing demos and try each one of them out. I'm getting beat at tournaments all the time from guys that are pedaling.
Oh
And
yeah.
I've got bow mounted trolling motors. So there's guys that are hardcore pedal
I mean,
pedal
Damon,
drive. So yeah, Damon Henderson,
Yeah.
AOI last year.
Yep. He's a pedal guy. Won the native tournament as well. It almost broke records if he hadn't gotten bored with catching keepers.
Yep. There you go, Fluke. When you getting back on that?
Any intentions on doing the Friday night lives again? I've got to get to where I can do them. And I just don't want to step on Alex. See, I started doing them and then Alex stepped on my time, which I'm okay with. There's no beef there. I just got to figure out whether it'd be smart for me to do mine before his, after his, or just another day altogether. So, but I do have my studio and everything set up in my house. Just got a lot going on right now. Whew. I'm going to be nonstop for the next 2.5, 3 months.
Repeat on the deadline. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is because it's on the Tourney X page already.
Yep.
You can go ahead and share something else, Gene. I'll bring it up when I tell him. Corey, I don't know what you're talking about. What comment we missed? We'll scroll up and look through the comments. He may mean a question specifically for you, Gene. I don't know.
He can text it to me. Jake Gene's comments left a question there. Let's see. What was the deadline for registration? We're getting that one. Oh, that was probably a comment. Yep, there it is right there. What was the deadline for registration? The 28th is what it says. So is the deadline. Is what it says. Is it supposed to say that?
Registration. Michael? Okay, yeah. Registration deadline is February 28th, which is this coming Friday, right?
Hold on.
I don't want to confuse people here, and maybe we could word it a little differently. But
so
if we worded it different,
28th is the day before the tournament. It's supposed to be the 21st.
You're right. It's supposed to be the 21st. So Tourney X is wrong. We'll update that as we speak. You'll see it change over right now if you refresh your screen. I wonder who did that.
I thought I was the one that was done with numbers.
I don't want it to be confusing to people, and we could reword it, but if we reword it, it technically would be wrong. Let me explain what I'm talking about. So I have to hit save on this. Hold on, so it'll refresh for everybody. Save changes. All right, now the Tourney X link is updated to say the 21st. So it says that registration deadline is February 21st. That's Friday at 12 a.m. Now, what does that mean to people when you hear that? They think that they have all day Friday to register up until midnight that night. But midnight that night would be Saturday morning. 12 a.m. is Saturday. So if you February 21st at 12 a.m., well, that's first thing Friday morning at midnight, which means Thursday night till 11:59 you better be registered. Because once it rolls over to 12 a.m., it's now Friday the 21st at 12 a.m. and the deadline has hit. We could reword that if that's confusing for folks.
Can we do
to say
Friday
that it ends?
Can we do it
at 11:59
p.m.?
Yeah, we can change it to 11:59 is what we'll do.
Let's change it Friday 11:59 because I know how we're all procrastinators. I hate to have to do that to people.
Yeah, because I don't want people to read that and think, "Oh, I've got till midnight Friday night to do it," and that would be.
Yep, I don't want to do that to folks. I know all y'all procrastinators because I'm one too. So
11. I'm gonna put 11:59:59. You got 59 minutes and 59 seconds.
Yep, that's what I'm talking about. So tell your mama, tell your friends, tell your sisters down the road.
I don't know why everybody. I've been guilty of it too. I don't know why everybody in the kayak fishing competitive scene are the biggest procrastinators on planet Earth. But we wait to register the last day or two of the deadline that we can. But it sure does help out tournament directors for you guys to get your registrations in early so we can start planning and forecasting for some of the tourism bureaus and other people that we're dealing with and the venues that we're reserving. But I know some people don't have a choice. They're still trying to work on that PTO and whatever else. But
yeah. Oh, your mama just got in here and said thank you.
Oh, I know what she's thanking me for. We fixed her roof today, and you're welcome, Mama. That was a pretty easy job with the hands.
Say hi to Michael's mama. Yeah. Let's see what else we want to talk about. Let's see. We got some more sponsors that we've been talking to, but they probably won't make it onto the banner. What you see behind us on the screen is actually the backdrop that for photos and stuff like that that'll be at all the shows and things like that.
Yeah, that's the only thing we unveiled to everybody. Yep. You can see what our backdrop's going to look like.
I have not seen the bait packets that Z-Man sent to me, so I can't tell you for sure. But they ain't scared to put baits in a bag and send it to you. So that's a box sitting at my house right now when I get home. Yeah, like I told you guys earlier, I'm at one of the longest consumer shows in the country. I started last Friday, and I don't get done until this Monday, or this Sunday.
Here's the box to Deep South Lures, so you guys will see what they sent. I'm gonna open that up tomorrow, and we'll have all those for giveaways as well. Those guys are really supporting us, so we appreciate them too.
Yeah. I can't wait to see what where this thing goes next year and the year after. One of the things we're planning on, and the reason we're doing the Susky event is we want to kind of gauge the interest from up in the Northeast area and that kind of stuff. And plus, I've never fished the Susky, so I want to get up there and have some fun fishing myself. Although I won't be fishing the tournament, but we want to expand fairly quickly if we get the numbers. And ultimately, what I'd like to see is a southern region and a northern region and a Midwest region or whatever, a Great Plains region, and have tournaments going on simultaneously around. This could be 2, 3, 4, 5 years down the road, but as soon as we see the numbers show up, and then just have a big championship between the different regions and just have a lot of fun with it, and that's the biggest thing for me. Is it's not about me and Michael making money. It's not about us making it a big business. I just want to make it a lot of fun and get people to kind of get together and have those friendships we used to have when we all showed up to tournaments that are kind of low stress and just have fun. So
I'm going to show people here. This is one thing you can look forward to. We'll have as raffle giveaways or door prizes. Yak Rods has really come on board and presented us with a stack of these $50 off coupons for getting yourself a Yak Rod. Guys, I'm personally sponsored by the folks at Yak Rods as well, and repping for them a little bit. So one of the things I hope to offer for you, if you'll come see me at any of our events, I will have a stock of Yak Rods with me that you can purchase on site. And I'll have a couple of demos as well that if you want to try those out and find out how amazing their rods are, come see me and come talk to me.
Yep. So we also have a few teams that are sponsored by other companies that their entry fees are being sponsored and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So trying to think of anything else.
Justin, I did.
Not Michael.
Tell your mama you're welcome. I love my mama.
That's funny. That is funny. Any more questions? How long have we been doing this? Almost 45 minutes.
Gene, she shouted out to you too.
Yeah, I know. I saw it. That's awesome. That's awesome. Oh, I'd come down visit y'all more if you didn't live below the gnat line. So,
Yeah, I tell you what, for me to be to run my own kayak series with you and to compete full time like I do, to have retired 2 years ago to do this and chase what I call chasing my dream, I really live in the wrong geography. I'm in southeast Georgia, guys. I don't know if y'all know where Waycross, Georgia is, but it's the bottom corner. I'm 70 miles, 60, 70 miles from Jacksonville, Florida. All the good water's up north. If I go far enough south, there's good water down in Florida. I love going to Florida, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe one of these days I'll have to consider relocating. But
yeah, he lives in
I
the
don't
dead zone. That's for sure. Love a lot of rivers down there, but they're no fun to fish either. There's no current. It's just kind of slack water rivers.
We got a little bit on the little old Satilla River that I grew up on.
But so I got a question for everybody. What tournaments are you guys, locations are you guys excited for? Because
Yeah,
I'll tell you which one I would be. That's Gunnersville. That's the one I would freaking, man. Oh man, if I was fishing it.
I think my favorite on the list right now has got to be Susquehanna. When you called me, what was it, about mid-December, and somebody gave you a bug that said y'all need to consider something up there to pull those northeast. Yeah, pick up those northeastern guys. And if everybody wants to go to Susquehanna, I fished it last year with bass. I know, Gene, you haven't done it yet, so it's on your bucket list. Dude, Susquehanna is just a fun time, absolute fun time. So I'm looking forward to that one. Yeah, Gunnersville in April, that's going to be insane. Lake Murray in 2 weeks is going to be insane. The only thing that makes me sad about this schedule is I'm not fishing these events because I'm running the series with you. So that's going to hurt a little bit. We might get out there and fun fish a little bit during practice, but I want to be able to be sure I'm staying out of everybody's way. That's going to be complicated.
One of the things that I love about what we did, Michael, is we didn't go to the municipalities first.
Yeah.
And that way the thing is I did not want to be behooven to their schedule. So whether they're paying us to be there or not, it didn't make any, and it doesn't make any difference to me. I wanted to pick these lakes according to when the best times were to fish those lakes, and then make a schedule, and then go to them and say, hey, if you want to help us out, then help us out. If not, no big deal. We're still having the tournament during that week.
Yep.
That's kind of how we did it. And it's because honestly, I don't give a crap. I want everybody to have the best fishing day that they can. And I'm lucky to be able to fish over 200 days a year and fish whatever lake I want to fish. And so I kind of, from my own experience and from experience from buddies, picked those dates.
Yeah.
And, except for Susky, Jody picked the Susky for me. So
it's really an amazing schedule. Not to pat our own back or toot our own horn, but it's going to be a fun year for Team Kayak Series.
Yep, you're going to see some epic. You're going to see some people coming back on Sunday, which I'm looking forward to, is seeing that one team that is freaking tanks on day one and comes back and beats the brakes off everybody on day two.
What I'm excited to see, I genuinely don't hope we have anybody that has to fish as an individual. I hope we can pair everybody. We are a team-based series, but if that individual that schedules doesn't get a teammate in time, and there isn't one to pair them with past the registration deadline, and they have to fish as an individual, if that does happen, I would love to see them take the gold. That would be so cool.
Yeah, that'd be pretty rare, though.
That'll be rare. I won't hold my breath on that one, but
yeah. Gage is right. Gunnersville and Susky are going to be epic.
Yeah, I think so too.
Definitely. I think Murray will too. I really do. That's if we don't get any nasty rain or anything during that tournament. That's always the risk for that time of the year on Murray.
Yeah. Oh no, Yak and Zach fishing might have lost his partner. Well, everybody listening right here, Yak and Zach's looking for a partner. Reach out to him.
I hope you haven't. Might need to talk to your partner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, don't forget to sign up as a member. I think we talked about that at the beginning. I'm just trying to think of things we might have forgotten, but I think we covered that. Sign up your membership.
Go ahead and do that tonight.
Yep, get it done.
And then get with your partner, get everything else taken care of. And like we said a dozen times already, if you don't have a partner, sign up and register for the tournament anyway. We'll pair you up with somebody. You never know, that guy or girl might become your best partner. I mean, you might decide you want to fish the rest of the tournaments with them and be able to qualify for team of the year and that kind of stuff. So
it's been cool talking to a few of our members over the last couple of weeks that have called me or reached out with questions about this or that, registrations, how to make a team. I don't know how many for sure we have, but I think we've got, like, at this point, like 3 or 4 that are father-son teams. And I think that's a really cool thing too. Yeah.
Yep. I'd like to see some husband-wife teams as well.
Yeah.
Like to do on Fishers of Men tournaments.
Yeah, get your daughters involved too. Get maybe some daddy daughters, mother daughters. I'd love to see all that.
Yep. Any Friday and Saturday tournaments? Not this year.
Not this year. Nope.
Believe me, my wife's not happy about that either.
Albert, send me a PM, by the way. I need to ask you something about another matter.
There's a father-daughter team right there, John K. That's awesome.
That is awesome. Cool. Guys, we're just kind of hanging out now, looking for any other questions you might throw up there before we get off. We might try to stick around a few more minutes. We're almost at an hour. I'm going to scroll through the rules too, just to make sure that anything else I need to bring up. Nobody's asking anything.
That's one thing is the rules are set. We're not changing anything. We're not going to go
this year.
We're not changing dates. We're not changing anything with the rules and that kind of stuff. You know, and I know forward facing sonar gets a bad rap from a few of you, and I've seen several different studies and stuff on how popular and how unpopular it is and that kind of stuff. I honestly, I've won tournaments without it, and I've done really well with tournaments with it. But the one tournament, the major that I won last year, I did not use I tried to use it, but I did better without it. And so there will be tournaments where it's helpful, and there will be others where it's just not. And so I'm torn on whether to. I don't want to completely get rid of it, but the rule is you're only allowed to have one forward facing sonar transducer on your kayak at a time. So yeah, I don't see it being an issue. You know, if we were televised and we were worried about viewers and that kind of stuff and people staring at the screen all day long, yeah, maybe I'd worry about it, but we're not televised. So
Timothy, no.
What do you say? Oh, no.
I need to drop out of school.
That's
to come fit. That's my boy. He's out in Idaho going to school and doing well.
Nathan
I love you, son.
Nathan Matheson asked, this may have been covered, but what are the entry fees? $100 a person. So
Well,
200
almost.
a team.
Yeah, almost. It's technically $109.99, but that's covering the Tourney X fee and the stripe fee. So, but the $100 portion of that $109.99 is what goes all to payouts, which is 100%. We're not keeping a nickel off of any of the payouts. No holdbacks for championships. We're trying to fund the championship payouts with registration fees for that event and sponsors. So there will be no holdback for championships or any other events. It's a 100% payout tournament. And we're gonna, again, I talked about it at the beginning of the live, but we're gonna post that payout schedule in the next 24 hours. So stay tuned for that too. You'll see how that works. Basically, in a nutshell, it's the top 10% of the field will receive a payout, and we'll show exactly what those numbers look like based on how many entries we have.
Yep. And one thing we're going to visit at the end of the season, which we're going to probably ask you guys to have for your input, is entry fees. If you want them to go up, let us know. Yep. We're starting with 100 because it's a good round number, and it just it helps us get off the ground. But if you guys want bigger payouts and bigger pots, then the entry fee goes up. Yep. And
so another thing I might mention too is with TOY, the point system we're going to use is going to be a simple point system. Yep. It's first place will have 500 points, and then every spot after that, it's a 5-point decrement for that team. So 500 points for first place.
495.
495 for second place and on down. Your minimum points for participating for TKS is defined as registering for an event. If you've registered and paid for an event, your minimum points will be 100 points for every event. But other than that, it will be 500 with a 500 point or a 5-point decrement under first place for every place. And again, it's your top 4 regular season events. We have 5 regular season events, but it'll be your top 4 regular season events. The championship is not weighted for TOY unless we have a tie going into the championship in points. If we've got more than one team sitting with the same amount of points and goes into the championship, then where you place in the championship will determine our team of the year. If you place above the other people that are tied with you, you're going to be the team of the year. So that's how that's going to work.
Yep. Trying to think of anything else we haven't really covered that we need to, but
Frank, you're welcome, and thank you. Thanks for supporting the series. We look forward to seeing you guys.
sunglasses.
Speaking of glasses, I'm wearing my old man glasses tonight. I've got to where I can't work on the computer or read anymore without some kind of reading glasses on.
Mine are over on my desk.
Or tie a knot. I can barely tie knots anymore without them on.
Yep.
Can't wait for that. We keep hearing that. We're looking forward to that event for sure. Gene, I think we about covered it all.
I can't think of anything else we missed.
We might talk. I mean, I can just finish up with, I'll do this. Let's do this last little rule mention, and we've talked about it in another live, but we'll tell them here too. The photo submission process. We're using Tourney X. We allow you to pinch the tail. If you feel so brave and inclined to do that, you can pinch the tail. You just can't cover the very end of the tail. You can't have your finger under the gill plate or cover the eye of the fish or, of course, the mouth of the fish. Keep your hand to the right of all that. You have to take your photo and any video releases with the same device you are using to submit your fish on the Tourney X on your tournament management
I'm not taking GoPro videos and
no GoPro footage or action camera footage for release videos or fish submissions will be allowed. You have to use the same device you're submitting the fish on. And I say same device because not everybody uses a phone. I've heard of a guy out there that's using an iPad to take his photos and submit to Tourney X.
Yep.
I don't understand that, but if you're doing that, that's allowed. That's a device. You're using it for Tourney X. You're using it for pictures. You're using it for release videos. That's fine.
But tether your crap. Come on, people.
Tether it.
I don't want to hear another Drew Gregory. I dropped 3 phones in the water this week. Just tether your stuff.
We all love Miss Christine Fisher and the influence she is on the sport too. I saw her Bassmaster. Look at her recap video. She dropped her phone and for 45 minutes had to fish it out of the water and finally found it. I was on pins and needles the whole time watching her wade around in that Florida water going, man, find it. Because I've been there. I lost my phone on Lake Texoma in 23 and never got it back.
Yeah, I did. I spent an hour or so trying to finding somebody's phone in a swamp in South Georgia one time too. Everett Parks lost his phone and he had it in a waterproof bag. So there was 4 of us and we lined up side by side and kind of did a grid pattern around where he in 3.5, 4 foot of water around where he was fishing. And I bumped into it with my leg and picked it up and there it was. But yeah, that's no fun, man. That is no fun.
I mentioned release videos, by the way. I'll clarify that in case anybody's wondering. So do we require release videos? Not with your initial fish submission, but essentially we kind of require them in the sense that if anybody comes forward with a legitimate challenge to any of your fish, and Gene and I will determine if it's a legitimate challenge, and the challenge may even come from us.
Yeah.
But if another angler, competitor, or tournament director comes forward with a legitimate challenge, we will require you to show us your release video. So I would have a release video.
If it's going to help us clear up that challenge, we're going to ask for if you got a video. So we're calling it the cover your butt clause is all we're calling it. Just if you catch a fish that is a, blind fish or stuff like that, we've been doing that for years, Yeah. But if you catch a fish, the video submission guidelines are have the fish on the measuring board with the identifier, turn it to video, get a video of the fish on the measuring board, and then get a video of you grabbing the fish and releasing it and it swimming off. And what I do is I typically have a number attached to each of my fish anyway, because I keep a list on my phone and I just say, this is fish number 1, or this is fish number 3, 20 and 25 and a quarter inch fish, blah, blah, blah. And then I release it. And that helps me pinpoint make sure it's the exact video that I need to see if that ever comes up. So notice I said 25 and a quarter.
One thing that I haven't talked a bunch about at any time, I think on any of our lives, Gene, is one of the requirements I need to get squared away. And I hope to post these on our website and our Facebook page and group tomorrow as well. And if I don't have them all in time, I'll have printed copies at registration. But we need a W-9, a rules agreement from everyone, and the waiver signed. So I have gotten a couple of those from a couple of you via email that have took the initiative to print them off, sign them, and email them to me. Thank you. You're rock stars. For everybody else, I hope to have a fillable PDF version posted on our socials and website tomorrow.
And we'll have copies of them at
if not, and if you don't get them in time, and I hope you'll go ahead and use the online copy so we don't get bogged down with that at registration. But if you just don't make it to registration, having done that, we'll have some printed copies. So
that's a good question that you need to answer.
Why don't y'all allow action camera videos? Because it is a headache. If you do an action camera footage, I've now got to pull you aside prior to our award ceremony after the event has ended, and I've got to pull your software or pull your SD card, or you've got to give me access. If let's say it's GoPro, you've got to get me access to your GoPro account. I've got to log into your GoPro account to go and see the EXIF data. It is a nightmare, and we're not going to deal with it.
It's the EXIF data that we've got to be able to see. We got to see that it was
GoPro can do that. GoPro can pull EXIF data with geotagging and what have you, but you have to have that turned on. And a lot of guys don't know how to do that or don't have it turned on their action cameras. But it just presents a huge dilemma for tournament directors to have to deal with. And we got too much to deal with during tournament days. So it's just a hard line we've drawn in the sand for this year anyway. It's something we can always review and look at for next year, but don't count on it. We would rather not have to deal with that. So just use your device.
It's a pain in the arse.
It is. It's a headache that we'd rather not take on.
Yep. All right. I think
we're at an hour, just over. So I think we covered it all. You want to give them a little outro goodbye and thank you, and I'll shut up. And
if any of y'all have any questions, feel free to contact either one of us through DMs. Michael's better at getting back this week than I am. Just because I got total 17. That's your lovely wife.
Yeah, telling our boy to stay in school.
I got 17 seminars to give this week total. I've already given 2, 4, 6 of them. So, but yeah, it's ask us, get a hold of us. We're going to try to be as transparent as we can about everything. We're going to try to be reachable, the whole 9 yards, and try to make this the best experience as we can. If anybody has any griping and moaning at the end of the tournament, let us know. One of the cool things that we have is we have an advisory board, a angler advisory board made up of competitors that don't answer to us, and we don't, we listen to them. We don't control what their comments and everything else are. It's all run by Jody Queen, and then Jody Queen gets back with us. So it's kind of a separate thing that just to keep us honest and to give us feedback. So be sure to let us know what your issues are and things like that. We'll try to make it do it the best we can at trying to make it as good an experience as we can for you. So, let me think what else. Do everything you can to keep the integrity of the sport, no matter what you do, guys. If your teammates cheating, let us know, that kind of stuff. If I ever had a teammate when I was fishing team tournaments that cheated, I would, if he made it back to the boat ramp without me busting his face in, he'd be lucky. And then secondly, we would cease to be friends. That's for sure. So, anyway, love y'all. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us. Michael, thanks for all your hard work. I know I feel like I haven't done a whole lot, to help get this thing going, but I'm glad that we're doing this, and it's just going to be a blast. So,
yeah. Cool. Love you guys. Looking forward to seeing you, meeting you. I know a lot of old Fluke Master here, but, come up and talk to me at our events and let me get to know you too. I'd love to build relationships. We're all about that part of this. So looking forward to seeing you guys at Murray.
Yep. We'll see you.
Take care.